and storms down by the shore.
When I was in
Pirates in the port of
As an electrical dude,
paradise.
that's less.
Hey, ruined mariners marinated, swinging one north with their heads a bigger sore.
Threatens my faith in
Viscera and gore.
the kids don't understand the basic function. You don't wear headphones and you have
Pirates in the
audio.
bay, taking what they made.
The audio that plays through
Gold
your
what
speaker
decorates
loops
indoors.
through your
Taking
microphone
home
and
decor.
creates fuck
Please
shit
not
sound.
aboard more. It's the pirates of paradise.
So I just have to hear all day. When people say stupid things in like a Zoom meeting, I do the same thing. I go like, this can't be in my ears right now, and just take these out. Like I cringe watch my lectures. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pirates of Paradise podcast.
Are we on the air? Thank
This
you
fine
for
Tuesday
listening.
morning.
I
Appreciate your participation.
I didn't ask about this, but should I be wearing a shirt? Is that something that I should do?
It's for you, you know.
Like, I'm okay. I feel fine.
I
I'm
feel
comfortable.
like it could alter the course of our conversation, but that's neither here nor there.
Fair. So, John, before we were on the air, we were talking about. Hold on, my lighting's fucked. There we are. We were talking about cell phones. Oh.
You know what? Good point. Because we were talking about cell phones and data security, and we've had this conversation. I don't believe if it's been on the air, but about how
Mhm.
tattoos can obviously like be used as personal identifiers. Side point to that, I have a matching tattoo with somebody, and I think if you have a matching tattoo with somebody, you got to kiss them on the mouth, and I don't even know the guy. Uh,
Ah,
it's upsetting because like I have a Popeye tattoo. I got it off a Flash wheel,
yeah.
but it's on the same place. It's on the same place on
Whoa.
my back as this other person. They reused the same
No.
Flash. They reused the
No, you
same Flash
definitely
and
have to
just put
make
it
out
on
with
this.
this dude, John.
Yeah,
You
I
really
was like,
do.
if I see you and you have your shirt off and I have my shirt off and it's a hot summer's day, I gotta tongue your throat right now. But
Man,
the
it's
thing
great.
is, the problem is
It's great.
less so than because I would straight up have to like, well, I'll buy a house and move in with this dude. If you want to move in, you can move in with this dude. But fortunately, our tattoos are different colors. Like he has black and gray scale, and I have the color version of the tattoo. So I don't know.
If his name was also John, do you think you would be calling him by your name? Uh,
Yeah, we would have
do
to
you
like
think
knife fight or
your life would
something.
almost win an Oscar? Anyway,
I really do
the
appreciate feeling a little bit like I start to experience like the 10,000 brains phenomenon when people are like with my own name talk to me because I feel like
yeah,
we don't have to use each other's names because it would be silly to be like John, like other than like as an introduction uh,
sure.
for our own bit. But like, yeah,
Hmm.
you just start going like, yeah, we can just talk about anything now because like, whoa, we
No,
have the
I
same
am.
name.
Yeah, I understand what
It's the
you're
same
saying.
idea as the tattoo phenomenon. But
Yeah. Oh, but the oh yeah. So to loop back, to jump back from the tattoo phenomena to cell phone security, I was thinking about.
wait, sorry to wrap that point real quick. Just
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, you are broadcasting all of your data in the form of tattoos on your body for free right now. No security.
Not, I mean, like a little bit, a little bit. Hold on, that's incentive to cover up. Give me a moment,
Here we go. You can listen to
because
them.
I would say that I have full control over my cutaneous, my epidermal data stream. I'd say that's super true, but
Do you take any pleasure in
cell
referring to
phones are
things
like
as cutaneous as proprietor of the pseudonym Q? And also, how much uh, energy do you draw from the QAnon people? Who are like, oh, I have a cult following. I have a cult following. Listen to the
I
podcast.
relatively little. I honestly wasn't. I wouldn't say that I'm super familiar with the QAnon following,
Yeah, me
but
neither. I don't know if anybody is. I
yeah,
think it's just kind of like pretty disorganized. But
yeah, no. Anyway, the cell phones are like really opaque, man, and like there is. I'm looking for this Y Combinator article, but I I didn't I don't know how to make I don't know how to make an operating system, so I don't really understand the subcomponents. Let's say. Two, I did make Android, whatever. I don't know what the current Android iOS is. I really don't. Nor did I make Apple, like, or I'm sorry, nor did I make like iOS 10, etc. Right? So what if one of, like, my understanding is that now there's more implicit data logging in the most recent version of iOS, but the same could roughly be said for Android, like, at least as far as I know, because, like, I'm honestly not a big terms and conditions reader. I'm more of a tool. I'm a set and forget it tool user. Not
That's
exactly.
fair. So yeah, we were speaking a little bit about Signal because there was like a Rogan pod with it, but
Mhm.
the dude, I forget what his name is. I'll pull it up because it is important. Yeah, let's. I feel like it. Signal founder. Anyway, he was talking about like physical security on his phone, and you should enjoy this. Let's see.
Oxy Marlin Spike.
Yeah, Moxie Marlin Spike. I don't know if that's a real name or if that's like not lynda.com. What was the dude who like
No,
named
his
himself?
real name is Matthew Rosenfield.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Rosenfeld.
Yeah, pretty interesting. He has like a master's like a master shipping yeah, like the like a commercial shipping license essentially that allows him to do like or no not shipping pirates. He can sail
Okay,
big
shout out
boats.
to
He
strip.
can sail big boats because he did like the 50,000 hours or whatever of shit required to get that license. Um,
Okay.
but then when he like went out onto the ocean, he had to get towed by the Coast Guard, and he like told them, no, I have my whatever license, and they're like, oh, you fucking dummy, what are you crashing the ocean? That's not to be expected of you. I don't know. But also he was talking about he created a physical switch on his phone to turn off the microphone because he's like, I don't
Mhm.
trust this software with a goddamn. I don't trust it at all. So he created a switch to just flip it on and off
Oh
just
yeah,
like a little.
that's exactly the way to operate. My point was going to be that you if I were very frequently I think about designing my own cell phone. Like, one, because, or no, I should say my current pursuit as a maker is essentially I'm trying to perfect my craftsmanship. I would say that I can fabricate things, but I would not call myself someone like a craftsman necessarily. And modern cell phones are really close to being perfect objects, like these digital talismans that give you access to the informational realm. And if I were going to make one of my own, one, I would want it to be really nice, and two, I would want to do it from the bottom up, so I know everything that's going on in there.
Mhm.
And like that might just, like, I don't know exactly what that looks like. You know what I mean? It might be like it, like a micro ham radio with a touchscreen or something. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure of the processes that you would have to go through to make something like that secure, but
I feel
like
like it would
these are
be.
huge privacy windows.
I feel like it would be super fun to be like involved in tech in like the 80s when it was still like a little bit new. Um, just because
Well, which tech do
well,
you
you know,
mean?
hear me out. Like yeah, how like pretty much anybody could get like a phone tap implanted on their phone, just because like the FBI would come to your house while you weren't there with a van, be like ba da 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 da, stick a thing in your phone. It would make my daily routine so much more fun if it involved sweeping all of my objects for foreign objects.
Well, yeah, no, fair enough. They're actually, bugs are like still really easy to hide. It's
Mhm.
not something that I get paranoid about, because if I were going to be paranoid about it, I would never sleep.
Oh yeah,
But
exactly. I was like, am I a little bit what do you call
and
it?
also, I'd have to be a lot cleaner, man. I'm so easy to bug right now. My room's a
Mhm.
fucking mess.
I was like,
Cameras, cameras,
would
cameras.
would I be fight or flight a little bit because the fire alarm on my wall has three stripes like the Spotify logo and also the volume button? Well, a little bit, but that does. I mean, I guess just to a different point, the visual symbology of loud noise is just consistent between my fire alarm and my phone, which I appreciate. That's a good technological integration of a symbol. Uh,
I don't.
the symbol's alive. You know.
I'd say that's like maybe like a coincidence, a synchronistic thing.
Yeah.
But um, Man, I lost my train of thought. But
Data security, bugging.
no. Yeah, modern, like, I guess modern landlines are still like, if you, it depends on whether or not you have a landline. But if you do have a landline, it's relatively easy to tap. Like,
Hmm.
like it's essentially just like, I think it might just be like
Landlubber lesson. That's what it
line.
is. A landline lubber lesson. Landline lubber
Landlubber
lesson.
lessons. There's an
Landline lubber
Electro
lesson.
Boot video where he taps his own phone. It's real easy. You only need like two components. Yeah, I think these components are cents, fractions of. Um, but
Also, I felt happy about my mustachioed decision because well, yeah, I guess we're matching on that regard. But the not my unofficial adopted father, but uh, the father of a coworker who frequents the bread store. Um,
yeah,
he had his mask pulled down like so that he could speak like to his upper lip but not below, which was impressive. It was impressive because it was one of the paper masks, so he had it like right here. And I was like, "Oh, I can see that you have a mustache like dog face from not dog face. That's the TikToker, I think. Mad Dog from the Raid movies, which are fantastic. Like just yeah, just a real nice
or
um, and this type of mustache definitely makes me feel better about the historical fact that short of 23andMe data, there's a distinct possibility that any and all of us, in regards to like our descended from the most whatever chimp conversation, are indeed descendants of Genghis Khan, and I rock a Fu Manchu because
I actually, I don't know. What do you think the likelihood of that is?
I don't
I
know,
guess.
probably like enough, but one drop.
Statistician. That's that is the mantra of the paid statistician. Like,
Yeah.
likelihood is enough.
Enough to talk about. Enough, in the Caucasioid world, enough to be like, I'm kind of like part Native American, but
You know,
disregard
well,
the route by which the Trail of Tears entered that into your bloodstream.
well, I I've consulted all my statistical meters. I know the direction of the wind, and based on the coordinates of the heavenly bodies, it seems that the likelihood is enough to result in my being paid so I can continue to live.
I was telling myself a joke yesterday, just about my great grandfather who died like a couple years ago. He made it like all the way to 99, and I'm pretty
Okay.
sure he committed suicide by Oreo because his whole family, like his whole family network of caretakers, was like, "Oh, you can't have Oreos; it'll literally kill you." And then his wife died, and he was like, I eat Oreos, like whatever I want." So one,
Fair.
uh, okay, so that side of my family is as old as you can be, and is as rooted in the Americas as you can be, as like yeah, as whatever American, like Mayflower type people, right? Like Mayflower ass type people. So I'm like, I'm
Fair.
not gonna say he was cursed or ascended to an honorary birthright, but his suicide by Oreo might make him an Oriole. And that was
What
the joke I told myself, and it was good enough for me. But I'm a indiscriminate audience, so
what how did the Oreos kill him? What was his weakness? Oreos?
I don't know, probably like diabetes or something, or just like
Oh,
heart. But like yeah, he was just like wood chipper sleeve
fair, fair,
Oreos.
fair.
So yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Hmm.
I I don't know. I guess that's a semi brave way to go. I feel like that can't be a good death. I feel like it's probably
I
not.
feel like it's fine. I feel like it's fine. Like if you make it to 99, if you make it to
Dude,
like you're not gonna old yeller yourself, not be able to have your kids toot your body around open
yeah,
casket.
dude, but just like, I don't know, like there's got to be like
I feel like going
dude,
off.
why not do like you could just go like hypoxic, dog. You could just like
Okay, I respect
this is
his like nutritional whatever endeavors that led him to be that age though, because he was like, I think he was like an alcoholic until like 30, and then he like still smoked until like 50, like just like a pipe, like pipe tobacco or whatever, and then he like was just like, oh, my mom wants me to quit it, I'll quit it. What am I, a bitch? My mom wants me to quit it, I quit it. And then
No, that's a
yeah.
good way to be. That's definitely a good way to be.
Also, he has
My
like he has this quote, like they asked him if he wanted like a DNR, like a, yeah, do not resuscitate order for those in the listening audience. Um, but he was like, well, if I needed it, were his words, which I think is so great. I appreciate
that's
that.
really funny. Like, like, am I gonna die?
Like,
Like, bring me back, damn.
yeah.
Well, I guess I don't know. If I were like 99, I probably wouldn't want to be resuscitated. Just, well, the concern when you're like really old or really unwell is that they'll like break your sternum essentially, just
Yeah.
because, yeah,
I mean,
and that
it's a
is
concern no matter your age, but
true, true,
the
but more
healing,
so,
yeah, it's a permanent injury at that point. Yeah.
yeah, it's essentially a mortal wound,
Mhm.
essentially. And that's kind of a bummer to be mortally wounded. And so, unless you think you're a 99-year-old who can recover from a mortal
I was
wound,
gonna say, if you want to donate your body to science in the form of experimental treatment for broken ribs at 99, there's
you
worse
know,
things.
that definitely might be the move, especially if you're in like really good shape. This would be the ideal candidate. Like, if we can heal anyone's ribs, is this man's ribs?
Exactly, exactly. Like, oh, dude, you didn't understand. We had so many almost fixed ribs before they croaked. We got the technology down. We think we can do it this time. Like, there's just like one surgeon who's like, man, I really, you don't understand. I can fix this. I can fix this. I can fix this. They haven't given me a shot. They haven't let me try yet.
You
I
don't
just
know what I know about ribs. They didn't let me finish my thesis. My thesis was too controversial. I couldn't publish it. You don't know what I know.
he's like a whole bunch of these soulless fucking heathens. They want to fucking they just want access to their families' last will and testament. They really want to execute that will. I want to just punch sternums and fix them. Ba
I've,
ba
ex-
ba
I've
ba.
experimented on thousands of ribs. I find a strain from punch them. His ribs go,
The
and
cure
then
is
I go
just
like this.
playing the ribs with like a mallet. Like it's just like ba da da da. It's like, and oh, we
Well,
found the sound that creates life.
no, this antimatter skeleton combined with steel drum. We call it titanium beatdown breakdown. Anyway, the but
Timpani
I
tippity tap.
actually I've been thinking a lot about self healing. Well, no, I guess I've been thinking a lot about biomaterials recently. Um, there are a bunch of resources seem to have like different recipes for bioplastics made out of like gelatin or like agar agar, et cetera, et cetera. Even there's actually a company called Shellworks that makes bioplastics out of chitosan, like the not keratin, but chitin, I guess. Yeah, like arthropod exoskeleton protein
Hmm.
or material. That being said, one of the cool things about gelatin is, yeah, like about gelatin based plastics is that they're very, very recyclable. Like if let's say it doesn't come out properly in your mold, like it shrinks too much, you can just dissolve it again and then pour it again. And I think that has really interesting self-healing applications. Like let's say you could make one of these pretty hard already, but one of the main reasons I was excited to get trained on the CNC is that I would like to make sort of like self-healing like panels or like bricks or something like that. So if I could make like mold two halves of gelatin based whatever that has built-in like capillaries, so you could flood it with new material once it fractured or something. And like this is related, I promise. I think one of the interesting applications for that would be like a skin to skin interface. So let's say you get like stabbed or something like really terribly. And this is sort of this train of thought is related to another Isaac Arthur video about extreme environment suits, right? But like let's say, yeah, you were very grievously injured. If in addition to like the auto cautery, et cetera, you could like clean and flood that area peristaltically through this like semi-organic membrane, or even if you could like, what if you could culture your own antibodies and then suspend them in this gel or something? I think that would be really gnarly, and maybe one of the closer ways to get like to a healing factor like biomechanically. And then maybe you know what, I know I was just method acting the rib obsessed PhD candidate, but I think I think I've truly embodied him. Little did I know.
That's good. That's a good place to be. I'm all for like experimental medical stuff. I mean, obviously, like to some degree, like having a couple knowledgeable bodies to be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That
like
makes sense.
movie. You know, it's just like um, all the memes about scientists fucking around and finding out. That is, I enjoy those memes very much
Yeah.
because I spent a lot of time in high school instead of doing homework fucking around and finding out. I
Oh boy, I had a speaking of fucking around and finding out, I had like a yeah, not to go into details. I had a curious interaction. Somebody asked me to download a Minecraft multiplayer tool, and I was like, this uses my network, and they mentioned something about a VPN. I don't trust this in regards to Minecraft.
chumming the water.
And then said person said, "Oh no, my Minecraft account just got hacked recently." I'm like, "Well, no, I'm definitely not downloading that thing that you sent me then. I'm definitely
Surely,
not downloading it because
surely
if
not.
your Minecraft account got hacked and you don't, I
Yeah.
don't strike your judgment as that valuable, um, uh, I'm not downloading a network pack from that thing."
Oh, I heard that. I heard that y'all are getting copper ingots from Nate.
Yes, yes, Nate was telling me
Yeah,
about that,
yeah.
which is good, which is good.
It
It is uh, fortuitous, as I believe you were recently being trained in some form of copper fabrication.
well, actually, not exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say my language on that term is imprecise, but
Oh no, you're cool. You're cool.
please explain.
I've been training on like the CNC a lot recently. I was actually just thinking about copper manufacturing and CNC stuff though, just because that delicious fist cat on Instagram made those big doink like copper rings, and I was like, oh shit, I could probably buy a block of copper if I were rich, and then make stuff out of it. Just really womping brass knuckles.
Hmm.
But continue with what you were saying.
Oh no, I guess yeah. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I guess side point to that. I've been experimenting a little bit with. I don't know if it would be cryptography so much, just like visual symbology or whatever. Um, but instead of labeling sandwiches with their names, I've been like just drawing things that I think will like be a decent representation. A
Interesting.
fish is apparently universal language for tuna salad, and I'm not mad at it. I'm glad I figured that out. Really cracking these sandwich codes.
No. That is good. That is good. I think that would fall into the category of sandwich symbology. I man, that is.
Landlubber
I think
lessons. A
because
fish is a tuna.
sandwich cryptology would be if no one could ever tell which sandwich is which.
Yeah. Sandwich cryptography is you wrap up the sandwich, and the label,
In eight papers.
and you don't mark the label. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, they think that it's just a wad of paper for a moment. They're like, "What is this? A stack of bags?" And you're like, "No, this is your."
Sandwich cryptography is using a different but sometimes the same bread around the bread that you wrapped it in, creating
Sandwich
a
cryptography is. Well, I guess no. Salad cryptography would be the one time that I accidentally switched the Chipotle lime rojo with the oh man, it's some other red Panera goo, but it was like that for days and nobody noticed.
signature chippy mayo, perhaps. I don't know.
No.
Oh,
It was
Yaioli.
no, it was fuck. It was some kind of like
Barbecue
I for,
ranch.
okay, hold on. Let me think. What else did it go on? Right, because the it wasn't the. I think it might have just been the base that goes into the chili lime rojo dressing.
That makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah.
it might have just been the base.
Oh yeah, that
It
is a
looks kind of like pepper water. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
That's a really good audit, I think, of your learning environment. Is like, oh, do these people know they know this isn't
Oh no.
right? Like,
That's the time when that's what I realized that like I think also someone once replaced pepperoni peppers with like cut up roasted red peppers or whatever, and I was like, oh, like both of those instances, I was like, people who go to bread store, they don't give a fuck, they don't know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's something I was saying. Like, most people don't give a shit what you give them. Like, as long as it's
Yeah,
not like an allergy concern. And then even
this is
then,
true.
you're kind of auditing some allergy concern. No. But like you're, I guess, to the degree that like you really can't like we definitely didn't give a fuck about sterilizing things for peanuts in the same way we do about for COVID. And I would,
True.
yeah. And so like
Yeah.
in the same way, it's like there might be one smear of peanut on this. I really can't say for sure. That's why we have
Mm-hmm.
like the sign that says like prepared, like on a
Mm-hmm.
line with nuts or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to
Which
be
means
like,
that you
if
like it
if if
will
if,
help
if you
you.
get an allergic reaction, it's because of these nuts. Ah, I got them.
Yeah, no, I that is actually really interesting to the extent that for some people, I guess allergies are a real immediate mortal concern.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know much
I
about the like biology around that? Because I'd be interested in learning more, but perhaps.
I think it's just like I think it's just like a runaway inflammatory response,
Hmm.
like related to improper identification of like not pathogens, but no pathogens like foreign bodies at
Hmm.
like a young age. I think that's the case. No, well, not
Yeah.
I
I know that there's
for
like a
the
weird.
tail end of that sentence. I
Mhm.
think that's the case. For the former, I know that is like it's a runaway like histamine reaction, like it's a runaway inflammatory thing.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I think there might be something to like yeah, just the idea, because I know there are some of them that you can like get rid
hmm
of with like exposure therapy, or
true.
at least like moderate the impact of with that. Um,
hmm
but I'm not exactly sure. Like, I don't know. Obviously, like, body's a complex system. I don't know about the long-term ramifications of exposure therapy to peanuts or anything. Like, it could be like, oh no, I got exposed to peanuts a little bit every day, and then at 50 my heart stopped, like something like that. I don't know. But
Okay, so hold on. Allergies, also known as allergic diseases, are a number of conditions caused by hypersensitivity of the immune system to typically harmless substances in the environment. These diseases include hay fever, blah blah blah. Fucking, I don't care. I don't care. Why do they happen? Early exposure to potential allergens may be protective. Treatments for allergies include the avoidance of known allergens, the use of medications. Let me see. It's useful for okay. So the progressive exposure is useful for hay therapy and reactions to insect bites, but its use in food allergies is unclear. Um, other
I was
environmental
gonna say,
factors.
just as a side point, people
hmm
who are specializing in biobehavioral health. Ooh.
Well, I don't know,
No,
dog.
no. Hear me out. Hear
hmm
me out.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
this is mostly a joke point. Mostly a joke point.
Okay.
After this global plague,
Mhm.
anybody surviving will have at least exercised adequate biobehavioral health techniques to survive.
No, that's not even like that's
Not even
not
a
even
little
like
bit
my
true, but yeah. But like
yeah.
in a sense, that, yeah, I don't know. There's yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna
More
say it's
more
just
so
like
than
not even
before.
like the field
More so
is.
than before. More so than before. I don't know. No, no.
Biobehavioral health is
Sorry. I'm
like
already
it's for
thinking
like
of
I
like
think it's for like quantifying. I think it's for like quantifying behavior via biological metrics.
oh yeah.
I have
Yeah. I
a
was gonna
oh
say
man,
like
I wish
in
I had it
regards to
here.
yeah, behavioral
I
behavioral immune system. I don't even know. Yeah, I
oh
don't
no,
know.
I was just gonna say I have like I used to have a spit camp T-shirt from when my. Do you remember when my mom was in? Were you like up to date when she was in that adult coloring phase and she almost got her like PhD doing this research?
No, I don't
Were
think
you
so.
there? Oh, okay. So
I don't know if I was
essentially,
aware of
like
this.
when we were like 16, like approximately,
Hmm.
she got really into adult coloring and was began doing research as to the use of adult coloring and lowering stress in the perioperative patient,
Hmm.
right? Uh, and she went to California to get training at the University of I think at UCLA or I'm sorry at USC Irvine, um, and the place where you do that training is called Spit Camp.
Hmm.
Like, and
Oh, that's
I
fun.
think I yeah. And so I was talking about the reason I know its connection specifically to the biobehavioral health department is because a close friend of the show. uh, Why? Yeah, his father is the head of that department, and I once ran into them at the comic store, and we talked about Spit Cam. His father gave me his card, et cetera, et cetera, and then I talked to him.
See, this is a good, I think, distinction about like our the way we interact with things. Because like every time my parents had friends over, I was like, oh, I don't know if I trust their selection in friends. Um,
Mhm.
there were like a couple people that I for sure was like, no, that's impressive. Like they had like an electrician friend who like worked for his dad's like electrician company, and then he moved to Egypt to do like electrical work for like an oil company, and just really get that check in a global economy, which is the move. That's very impressive to me. But everybody else, I was just like, I don't want to meet them. I don't want to meet them. They're my parents' friends. My parents talk about me. It's because they're boring people, boring, stupid people who want to talk about their kids rather than anything they do for themselves. I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like I appreciate maybe a more expansive view on that now because it's just like, you
Mhm.
know, yeah. As a parent, you can still have kids and be like, oh no, I fucked up. I want them to be smarter than me or
Mhm.
whatever, or
Mhm.
I want them to have different friends than I had because I think that's kind of like
Fair,
my dad's mentality on that.
fair,
But
fair. I think you're actually. Let me think. Hold on.
but yeah, no, I don't like my name being used with people who only saw me when I was a little baby, and they're like, oh, you're bigger now. I'm like, oh, that's all you have to say. Cool, thank you. Bye bye.
It's like, hold on, look at all this fucking character development, Doc.
Yeah.
you, think, you think I had a sophisticated, integrated conscience back then, bro? No way. But the I don't, I don't know. I was just thinking about you're one of my. Well, I don't know. I guess because I suppose it's also true for Kellen, but I haven't met your parents, which I think is weird. It's not like being parents. Um,
Mhm. Oh
I
no, no, no.
am.
There's
Yeah.
there's there's some element to that where like I didn't bring anybody over because I was like, oh, sorry, my the light's really hitting my stain
Your
my
son. Yeah.
yeah my stain painting, so I'm happy about
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
The yellow is now red. I don't know what this means, but landlubber lesson: yellow and red are the same. I don't know. I'm using my own
Oh,
using our
I
own
have a great
terminology.
idea
Red.
related to that. I'll talk to you off the air though.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
But
sure.
um, I did talk to Pete Woods one time on the phone. I really did.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Oh, it was after. It was when we were in debate, and I think my ride showed up, but you called your dad on my phone, and when I got home, he called me and he was like, "Where's John?" And I was like, "John's at school." Right? He's like,
Oh
"Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah." I was taken aback because I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Ooh." I sort of I don't always consider the implications of being called back.
Yeah, yeah, it is strange. I guess to our previous point about phone security. Oh, now he knows your name. Now he knows your number. But yeah,
No, that's true. I Let me think for one
uh,
second.
I feel like this is maybe where therapy could be useful. Like it is I think helpful to be like, no. Anxiety is like a parenting skill to some degree, like worrying about your kids and where they are and what they're doing and all that.
Mhm,
But like
mhm.
it is, yeah, no, I would hope he was more friendly than just where's my kid.
No. He was very pleasant. He
Okay,
was
that's
pleasant.
that's lovely. That's
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah. I It wasn't a bad interaction at all. I was like, oh, I talked to him, right? But I I don't know. There's this. This is something I thought about earlier, but didn't say because we moved on. There's this meme on Instagram that I may or may not have sent you, but it's um, the only. It's a Tumblr meme, and it's essentially the only straight dudes in movies that I can stand for are the ones whose primary character trait are I fucking love my wife, right? And it's like Gomez Adams.
Yeah.
It's essentially like goth husbands. Anyway,
Oh no,
but
I do
I
appreciate the people who are like real as shit, like they're weird and silly and medical in their analysis of other humans, but they're like,
yeah.
no, but I sing songs to my wife and kiss her neck.
Uh, yeah, exactly. I think
It's
that
fun.
would.
It's fun.
I think to the extent that that is sort of, I think the ideal relation, like at least for me, like close to the ideal relationship. Like I would be like, I think that I would probably be one of those people who ever tell you about my kid, dog. Do you know about my kid?
I think it is. I think it would be interesting to be in a relationship with somebody who you didn't speak the same language as at all, and see, like, I guess to some degree, like how you would be able to like still interact with them, because I think you could probably do it to some degree. Just be like,
It depends on like at all,
at
like
all, at
at
all,
all, at
at
all.
all, at all. Yeah, I don't know, but like it's probably happened before in human history.
Oh,
So
sure. Well, it must have. It
yeah,
surely
yeah.
must have. And it like that episode of the episode of the Twilight Zone where it's post-apocalyptic, et cetera, et cetera. But I I don't know. I'm all right at charades. I
Yeah.
think I'm a pretty good bot. I think I'm at least. I think I could interpret what they mean more so than I could readily communicate.
Hmm.
But I also think that like eventually getting to ready communication. I actually have no idea. I don't
Yeah, I
know
mean, I
much
think
more.
you'd still want somebody who was like knowledgeable about things, or whatever.
Exactly. Like how much of a common culture do we share? I guess
You
because
know,
then.
I was really clowning on somebody for saying street smarts, but I think that type of relationship might be the definition of street smarts. It's like, oh, no, 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 yeah, no, yeah,
Great spots.
I'm issuing communication in a language that I don't speak. So
Hmm. No, fair. I I don't know because I think that like we both know like very basic German,
very basic, yeah.
so
And
exactly
I
like
wish I had learned Spanish instead, but I do have a greater appreciation for English because of the Germanic roots that I know of it a little bit more now. But
yeah, but to that extent, like
I
I
still
feel
won't
like,
speak it because we beat them in a war.
but to the extent that we have that like that basal grasp, I think that communicating with someone who only speaks German wouldn't be impossible at all.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know how many of those people exist.
Enough,
Enough, yeah,
more than this many.
yeah, more than should.
Fair.
If you, yeah, if you're still really insular as German, it's sus. Sus. Well, I guess I don't know. I guess if you speak German, Polish, and French, that's a little, or like or German, Italian, and Japanese, that's also sus. But it's like what are
I
you?
don't know. Some people,
Some people, yeah,
um,
and that's still a more qualified candidate than somebody who only speaks English. So I don't know.
true. I yeah. I honestly, it's about like 8:20.
Hmm.
I feel like we could wrap. I think that's about all the things I have to say.
Is there anything else you would add to this? Plugs.
Oh, hey, yeah. There was this Craftivist 2020 thing that happened on Facebook. It was a virtual event at which some of the items that the I guess co-op I work for, we all eat. We were trying to hawk some artifacts. Because we worked hard on these. And I know you want an artifact that a young person trying to hone their professional craft made. I know that's what you want. So I'll put the link to that in this description. That's definitely what I'll do.
All right. Trying to think what else I have to plug. I found cool cardboard. The rest of the tarot set is in progress.
Good shit.
The first couple iterations of the tarot set have yet to be shared with the Pirates of Paradise viewership audience beyond, I believe, one thumbnail, Moonlight Fried Gator Hide. Um,
True.
but yeah, that's a project that's ongoing, and I hope to see its completion in the near future. This has been the
That's
Pirates of
exciting.
Paradise podcast. If you've
Thanks
learned
for
another
listening.
lesson, thank you for listening.